Alright, hello everyone. Gonna be streaming some Delver, as per the norm. I started a league yesterday with this Grixis Delver deck, and I forgot to finish it. So, we're gonna finish this up, and then we're gonna swap over to playing some Temur. We're gonna try out Uro Delver, something I haven't tried yet. So this is just pretty much a list that did reasonably well in the last challenge. So, yeah, I could stream Shadow totally. I can if I do a stream next week, I'll try to play that. Yeah, this is the Shadow list I played last time I played it, which was maybe like a week ago, maybe, and just very, very normal. So yeah, I can definitely do that. Yeah, so yeah, if you can see, I have a Temur Delver deck right here, which it was fine. Temur, I said this last time I streamed, but Temur is one of those cards that, like, sometimes it's just not a piece of cardboard, and also sometimes it's like the only card that could win a game. But of one mind didn't really impress in a Delver deck, but nevertheless. So let's crack right into it. Let's finish this league, and then we can talk about some Temur. See if we can get a 5-0, but regardless, 4-1s are great, so I would never be too upset for that outcome. This list has no Thought Seizes. It has two Stifles. It's still playing True Names. Hey, thanks for the follow, DTF Gaming. But yeah, so I wanted to I think this is actually basically just Bob Wong's list that he did well with, like, in the first week or two of the format. So, hey, Jason. Happy to see you here. Oh, TTF Gaming. Is that Devin? If that's Devin, hey, Devin. That's awesome. I had to put it together. I was like, well, who else would do that? Nice. How's it going, Devin? How goes life? Oh, I love it. I'm actually really excited to play the Temur Uro deck because, like, Stifle hasn't super impressed me, but I really like it in the context of that deck because it's just, like, a little bit of additional... it's just, like, an extra element to the engine, which is really nice because you can just, like, put the land in and then Stifle the Uro sacrifice trigger, which is really cool. And that kind of excites me. Nice, cool, yeah. Awesome, well, you know, you can check it out. Don't get too excited for Grixis. We got one game in us. Then we're switching over to Temur. Just forgot to finish the league, so. Yeah, nice. Yeah, the Temur Uro deck it's really interesting. I haven't played Uro in any of these Delver decks yet, and Uro's still just a pretty OP card. So that's pretty messed up. So it's probably going to be good. It has to be. It has to be good on some level in, you know, Temur Delver, and people have been doing well with it. So, hey, thanks for the follow. Ooh, Ilpinum? Is that it? I can't tell. You know, Devin, I don't stream enough. I've been streaming like one time a week, so it's like a little bit hard to kind of get that going. But I might be streaming, you know, a little bit more if I can get the affiliate. It's just like, just for fun. It's pretty cool. I mean, so 4 lands is of course an issue, but it's not too unreasonable depending on how you build your deck. And when you build your deck with Stifle, you're gonna have your mana more often because you can stifle their wastelands, which is pretty nice. Obviously, I mulligan that hand because I had no lands. This hand is mediocre. It's fine. I mean, Temur Uro is probably going to play very similarly to, like, the old Arcanist Oko deck. Right? Because that deck did get to a couple lands because it had a lot of ways to transition late, and, like, while it doesn't have the same... It doesn't have the same, like, engine to generate the mana early, or, like, Dreaded Arcanist, Uro kind of does the same thing. Okay, I mean, this is fine. So this is part of the reason I wanted to play... I could have played Underground Sea, because, of course, I need the red mana, but I thought that would be fine. And finding the Gomeg's nice, so... okay, so it looks like there's Sultai. Listen, Zach, we're not cubing. If we were cubing, we'd have Entombment in our deck. I can guarantee it. Okay, so let's do this, and then we'll wasteland them on the upkeep. I don't want to hold the Force of Will, like the Delver for the Force of Will, because they're playing some kind of, like, Delver thing. They might stifle me, that's fine. Okay, if not, that's good. So I need to find a red source. If I don't find a red source, I want to find any castable spell or blue. Like, blue cards are okay too. Red source, perfect. So I would not like to reveal. We'll get in the attacks. We'll play Young Pyromancer. I don't really care if they daze me. They probably will. Oh, they'll force me? Sure. That's not too bad. Like, it being in the graveyard is okay, because, like, we have this Gomeg Angler where we're kind of working towards. What do they do with the Ponder? They didn't shuffle? Goyf is fine. We have Gomeg Angler. So we transformed. So we have a couple of different ways to go about this. They use the Force of Will. I kind of want to get the Angler down this turn, but that means I'd have to preordain for some kind of land. But if I found a wasteland, that'd be good, because then I can also play around Daze by wasting their blue source. I think I'm going to start like this. I'm looking for wasteland. Daze Dismember. Okay, those cards are really good. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to keep both of them, and I'm going to draw the Daze. I don't want to run my Dismember into a Daze, so we'll go top, and then we'll attack for 3. They only have 3 cards in hand, so this isn't too bad. We've traded on resources pretty well. Strix. That's fine. That's fine. It is going to make the Goyf larger, so I should kill the Goyf before anything else here. So let's do this. I think I am going to play Angler, and I'm going to play into Daze, because I'm going to have so much pressure here. They didn't Daze my own Pyromancer. Okay, cool. So now I have Bolt for the Baleful Strix. I can force something that comes down. So I'm going to wait a turn. Yeah, this is the best cube deck I've drafted in a while. Okay, that's good. That's good for us that they hit that one. Another Goyf. So I'm going to force this, because if I don't force it, then when I Bolt the Baleful Strix, I can't get in with the Gomeg, because that'll make it a 5/6. So let's just Bolt, and then we'll attack for 8. If this works. Yep. Yes, Devin, it's... A lot of it is because they just banned a lot of the legacy, like really potent legacy cards that came out over the past 2 years, because they were really oppressive. They might be casting a card that looks pretty different here called Uro. Oh no, they're casting Plague Engineer. That's another one that looks a little different. This is basically just Engineered Plague on a 2/2 with Death Touch, which is pretty sick. So it's a really, really good card. So we're gonna attack here. I'm totally okay trading this because I want to play another Delver. So maybe they're gonna cast Uro here. Like obviously Plague Engineer is like a little annoying. Assassin's Trophy, sure. I'll use the ability. I don't have a land, obviously. So if we transform, we win. We did, so we'll just move to combat and attack before I do anything else. Okay, cool. Nice. Okay, so up a game. Against Sultai Delver, it's a little hard to figure out what I want. I don't think I want to bring in these Thoughtseizers. Court of Cunning does not seem like the kind of card I'm looking for. I like Liliana just as, like, a Planeswalker, but there's a couple of issues with it. I mean, one, the plus isn't going to kill too many cards. It's nice to grind them down as it goes a little bit later, but as a Planeswalker, it goes into graveyard and makes Tomgoy Flodger, which means my dismembers aren't killing it. That's a little unfortunate. Plague Engineer, kind of the same principle. It's not killing too much, but they did show me Baleful Strixes. So I think I am going to bring in both of those, especially because they're a little bit grindier. Battle-Blast is also certainly mediocre, but I'm definitely going to bring it in some quantity. I like Mal Spellbomb. They almost certainly have Uro. Although it is, like, bad in the face of, like, Tarmogoyf because it makes the Tarmogoyf larger. But in the face of Uro, this is kind of like the card we're looking for, I think. So, and let's just say we start with 2 Power Blasts. That seems reasonable. I almost always bring out the Force Negations in these matchups. 2 Force of Will seem reasonable, but I could just see bringing out all of them. So let's just do that for now. Stifle's worth them to draw, and these Sultai decks, I was just looking at some lists, they tend to run 20 lands, so it's a little bit worse, but it preserves all lands from Wasteland, so I think it's probably worth keeping in. I'm not in love with it, though. They showed Baleful Strix, so that means they don't have... Oh, maybe they are not a Delver deck, because they showed Baleful Strix. That makes sense. Okay, so they're not Delver. In which case, does Pyroblast get better? Well, they could still be Delver, but they also show me Baleful Strix. I think Pyroblast is less mediocre than it looks. I think I'm going to bring in all of my Pyroblasts. Lightning Bolt actually looked kind of bad, honestly. I'm going to bring out Brazen Borrower. And that might seem a little weird, but less cards that just straight up die to Plague Engineer seems nice. I'm a little iffy on this whole bringing out all my Force of Wills, but it's probably okay when I'm leaving in my Stifles. Is it crazy to bring out a Lightning Bolt? Is it, like, off the wall? I'm gonna do it. I don't think they're playing Delver, and I know it kills Baleful Strix, but I have the Pyroblasts. And, like, Plague Engineer is gonna check that as well. It just doesn't look like it killed anything. Now, if they show me Dark Confidant, then, you know, I'm gonna be a little punished for that decision. But this ain't good. Swap. Okay, so, yeah, they are definitely not Delver. It's weird how you get those assumptions in your head based on the cards you saw, like Wasteland, Tarmogoyf, Force of Will. Yeah, we're gonna Pyroblast that. Pretty easy target for that. Oh, that also means they don't have days, and that explains the few turns where they didn't daze me. Okay. I'm just gonna Wasteland this, especially drawing that. I don't know how good that mana is. Sure. I have plenty of lands. So I'll play a fetch land unless something changes this turn. Sure. Plague Engineer, not bad. Okay, so nothing changed, so we're just gonna keep doing this. They might have to, if they don't have a land, they might have to cantrip. Yeah, this makes sense. If I had a Stifle, I would actually Stifle this. The card draw. I don't really care about that. Wasteland. Okay, so let's see. Obviously, their mana is not very good. And we drew a land. That's really nice. So I think I want to... They're probably going to Wasteland me. I think I want to Brainstorm now because I'd like to get something on board here. Like, I want to find a Delver. If they should not be Wastelanding me. Because I could daze my own Brainstorm. So if you're going to Wasteland your opponent, don't do it while they have a spell on the stack. If you think that you need your Wasteland to be good. Okay, so I like most of these cards. I think the Bolts... Maybe the Bolts, plural, are just not very good. But I also think the Plague Engineer is just not that good here. It's not, like, necessarily doing it. This is from Vintage Masters. Yeah, this is like a legacy. This is when they were getting the duels, like extra copies of the duels, so they weren't, like, expensive online. So, there's actually a bunch of different Underground Sea Arts. Could just be both the Bolts. I mean, I'm not really applying much pressure. I have some interaction, and if they play Baleful Strix, Plague Engineer is going to check that. Yeah, okay. I'm fine with that, and we'll see how that plays out. I do not know how it's going to play out. I might want to draw one. So let's set an upkeep stop. If they want to Wasteland me, they should probably do it... Well, I don't know exactly what their, like, plan is here. Sure. What do we have here? Life from the Loam. This is a problem. So, it might be more realistic of a plan for me to win. Because I'm just going to start getting Wastelocked, and I'm not going to actually be able to get my lands down. I think I'm actually just going to daze this, and then Wasteland their land, and see if I can hold them back on a green source long enough for me to get a meaningful card down. It's a little ambitious, of course, but... This life from the Loam is going to be pretty tough. How is that going to change my sideboarding? I'm not sure yet. I'm going to wait to see if they dredge before I Wasteland them, I think. Because I kind of want them to have a dead card in hand. That was a good draw. Maybe not. Hey, thanks for the follow, first of this. This is an interesting situation. Because if I just Wasteland now and they draw a land, I'm still setting their Loam back a turn. If they don't draw a land... But, like, if I play the Wasteland, I'm giving the opportunity to cast a Brainstorm? Yeah, I don't really like that. Okay, we're just gonna fire it off now. And hope this works. Force Negation, maybe, but it is, like, it's good against Loam, but it is pretty bad against, like, a lot of their other parts of their deck. So, okay, that's pretty bad. Oh, they have another Life from the Loam? Oh, interesting. So they have double Life from the Loam? Maybe that does make me want... So, what are the odds that just, like, one Delver goes the whole way? I think my most realistic path here is to draw Gurmag Angler next turn. Or, like, pretty quickly. Or, you know what? I don't even need to draw it next turn. I'm going to play Delver. They're going to Wasteland me, of course. And then, if I don't draw a Gurmag Angler, I'm just going to hold on to my Underground Sea. Hydroblast, Abrupt Decay. Alright. Life from the Loam's a good plan here. I mean, that was certainly on my mind. Yep. Definitely don't want Force of Will. Force Negation is interesting. But against Loam and Uro, it actually gets interesting to It gets interesting to bring in Surgical. I kind of just want to draw Grimmick Angler. Liliana. That's about as bad as it gets. So, I need to save this land. I need this Delver to go pretty far. It's probably not going to. Hey, Langlands, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Hey, yeah, glad you're enjoying the VODs. I was happy to just put those up on YouTube so people could, you know, start to access content that they wanted more if they wanted the content. So, if my Delver dies, I'm probably dead. Unless I draw on my Gangler. Ponder, okay. Well, I'm going to start by attacking. They still have Force Will in their deck. That's actually good to keep in mind. So let's fire off a Ponder. They took the damage. Now Spellbomb would be so good if there was a land here. Okay, gotta shovel it. Okay, we'll all in on Delver. If they just kill my Delver, I'll just move on. They have a Loam and some lands I know about in hand. And they're casting a Brainstorm. Okay, this makes sense. Yeah, hit me. No, they're just loaming more. So maybe they didn't like their Brainstorm? I don't know. Maybe I do want Force of Will in some quantity. Because when I can't play on lands. The Plague Engineer is actually looking pretty bad. Like, it's good, fine against Baleful Strix. I don't think I'm going to keep those in my deck. Colin, you're the third person to say that. Just for reference. In case it was unclear. Listen, I pulled myself away from Vintage Cube drafting in Tombs. Just for this. Do I still want Stifle against a deck like this? Yeah, I think so, because I can Stifle their Wastelands. Leovold isn't an answer to Delver. I'm not conceding until they kill my Delver. That's where I'm at. Leovold's a reason to leave in some bolts, though. I can't cast, like, any of these, so it's about what information I want to show. And they know I have Young Power in my deck, so... Yep, I mean, they're going to find something eventually. See, that's the key. You want to wait for Entomb to wheel. But also you want to pick it highly. So, it's the balance. Yeah, okay, we out. No worries. Okay, so. Now we have a better idea of what they're doing. So, let's see. Plague Engineer, as I said, looked really bad. Like... Even if I got to cast it, just answering Baleful Strix is just not enough. So, Plague Engineer's out. I think I'm going to want the bolts back in for Leovold. That makes some sense to me. And then, we have, like, this combination of cards, and it's just, like, a little hard to figure out which direction to go. Force of Negation is, like, really not good in this kind of situation. I think with the 2 Nile Spell Bombs, we should actually be okay against that. I think I just want to bring in one more Force of Will. And the reason for that is, like, their deck seems like it could be a little clunky at times. And just kind of tempoing them out might be a meaningful way to kind of just, like, pull ahead. Like, one of the ways this deck can take advantage of opposing decks is by being more efficient. You know, there's times where we trade a bunch of cards, and then we slam a Gurmag Angler for 1 mana, and even though they wastelanded us a bunch, it doesn't matter. We still have all this pressure. And I think that's a pretty meaningful direction to take here. So I'm going to go with that. Just a very, very simple Simple switch. Let's go first. Yeah. So, if I could just hold up a land, they're never going to stifle it in the face of that. So, I'm actually just going to ponder turn 1, I think. Maybe not, actually. No, I'm going to hold up stifle. And then I'm pondering turn 2. Because now I'm playing around their wasteland as well. Because I don't find a land off this ponder. Well, it's going to be bad anyway, but... Island is fine. I'll probably Pyroblast a ponder. Yeah, I think that's fine. Just use my mana. They mulliganed. They're starting an island, so I don't know how good their mana is. I want to just draw lands. Perfect. So let's just get a ponder. More lands. Perfect. So let's go Bolt, Pyro, C. No. Play Underground, C. Now, if they wasteland me, I'm going to stifle it. And then we can get True Name into Liliana, which is a really nice setup here. Pyroblast is the classic. Okay, they're going to wasteland me, so now instead of getting True Name, because they should do this in my upkeep. That's the correct time. Nope. Okay, so this is the incorrect time, and the reason, if you want to play around Stifle, the way to do it is... Oh, they have a card? Oh, sure. Okay. Thanks for the roll, Matt. The reason you want to do it on my upkeep is so I'm wasting the mana. That's one of the ways you play around Stifle. Now, of course, I could Daze to protect it, and we want to get to our third land, but this is okay for me because we're still just going to be able to play Young Pyromancer and hold up this Daze. So, of course, we need to draw a land, and if we don't draw a land, we'll probably lose. But I don't think it's worth dazing to protect my land in that circumstance. I'll just daze this to kind of mess up their situation for a little bit. Because then they're going to dredge loam and we're going to apply pressure with this Young Pyromancer. Then they get down their wasteland. But what if we... What if we don't draw... What if we do draw land, then they're going to get the loam again and wasteland me? Okay, I'm still going to do this. I think this is fine. I want to waste their time while we have the Pyromancer going. Also gives me the chance to draw, like, Nile Spell Bomb. Okay, that's fine. So now we'll play a Volcanic. Because we want to preserve our black source as much as we can. Right now, if they just loam and wasteland me every turn, like, there's going to be a cost to that. Uro. Sure. Uro's fine, because I'm going to get this True Name down. It's not great for me, because they're going to, like, get this Uro back at some point, but... And probably next turn. We'll get True Name down, so we need to find an answer to Uro. We'll attack. So I did get punished for using my Daze. So we need to draw Pyroblast. But we're actually in an alright situation otherwise. Like, we have to beat this Uro, of course, but their Life No Loam's not going to be too bad. If we do draw Pyroblast, we're really going to do it, but... Okay, so... Hanging back is certainly the correct choice here. do that. And then I'll double block with Pyromancer and your true name if they attack, because I can get it back. It's the Tigrazul. It's the way I set it up. It's just it could be larger, but I just want to have like a little bit of information on there. So. Sure, this is like fine. They get to kill my young Pyromancer anyway. This isn't a blowout. We are losing, for sure. Yeah, it is tough. Okay, that's less fine. Do I want to shuffle? This is... Yeah, sure, why not? So... Let's see. Okay, so I'm just going to attack for 4 and play the Gurmag Angler. I'm just in for racing at this point. So let's attack first. And then we'll play Gurmag Angler. We'll do it off of these. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the goal here is to get to a situation where we can kill the Uro and generate some tempo, and get some big swings in. Of course, they're drawing a lot of cards, so, and they're not playing extra land, so theoretically their hand is all spells. So we're probably dead, which is fine. Yeah. I mean, that's gonna be tough. Any like good follow-up from them is going to be a little bit too much to deal with, I think. Like Plague Engineer? Baleful Strix. Okay. That's beatable. The Sultai control deck's pretty cool. Life and One's pretty sweet. I'm literally about to Squappy. Right after I lose this game. Ah, it would have been a good drop. Okay. We are suddenly dead. We can't cast Brainstorm. No big deal. So we got a full one. That's pretty cool. Let's see what our Brainstorm would have yielded. No, that combination of cards is just not good enough. Cool. Okay, so now we're going to switch. I just wanted to finish that league. And here's the deck list that we're going to play. Let me separate these out so you can see. Actually, let me do this. Card view. Yeah, there we go. It's still a little large. Yeah, so we're gonna play this Temur deck. This is essentially the list that it came in 10th, I think, in the last challenge. And I just kind of wanted to. I just picked a list that looked good. So, of course, this deck has Uro as one of the threats, which Uro is a ridiculous magic card, so it makes sense that this would show up here. Double Sylvan Library is pretty nice in conjunction with Uro. It gives you a lot of control. It gives you a powerful card against all the control decks, which is really nice in the main deck. Hex Drinker. I've played this card a decent amount. It can be pretty good against like decks that are trying to like remove things, but it is kind of slow. But it makes sense to combine it with Uro because it's a mana sink, which is really nice. So it gives you use for that extra mana when you're like flooding out a little bit. Like both of these cards do that. This list is only playing 19 lands, so I don't know exactly how that's going to play out. And the sideboard, it's pretty normal. that's just like rug stuff, and Brazen Borrower is just like a good answer to, you know, just various things that show up, as well as, you know, Barrelage. I was talking last week about how Brazen Borrower is an awkward card to have in your sideboard, and that hasn't really changed. I'm just not exactly sure what I need my, like, targeted bounce spell to do, or, like, answer. It feels a little bit too narrow to have Vapor Snag. So that's kind of why I'm just like, okay, I'm going to hedge with Brazen Borrower in the sideboard. So, yeah, we're going to give this a shot. I'm actually really excited to combine Uro and Stifle and see how that works out. Oh, Uro is ridiculous. This is the most ridiculous card they've printed in an extremely long time. So in the big banning that just happened, you know, a month ago, they banned 3 of the other most absurd cards that they printed, but they left this one out in Legacy because, and I think rightfully so right now, but they left it out because Legacy is a little bit better equipped to handle this than other formats. They banned it in every other format, but it is extremely potent, as we just saw in the previous game, where they had no in play and I just lost because I couldn't answer it. And you also can't answer it. That's the problem. You have to really adjust situations for it. But I think the reason Uro is fine is because in this format, at least right now, but also for a while I thought Uro was fine, and maybe that's here or there. But I think Uro's fine because you have to play a bunch of non-basics in general in order to get it working, or like play a lot of islands and forests, which can be a little difficult. And theoretically, when you're playing that many you know, islands and forests or non-basics, like that is punishable. But we'll see. I mean, this card is certainly starting to warp things around pretty hard. So we'll definitely see. But let's just crack right in. Temur Uro Delver. Got a nice 4-1, which I am always happy to get, and we'll see if we can keep up the action here. Yeah, man, it's the same as the deck list that should be on the screen with Cardboard Live. One of the things I like about playing green in your Delver decks right now is beyond this whole, like, I don't know what the threat base is going to look like. Veil Summer is just so ridiculous. And just having Veil Summer seems really, really good. I haven't played it at all, so it's probably, yeah, it's the same deck. I have no updates. It still seems good. If you want to play it as a Delver deck, this seems like a good place to go. It's a combination of, like, being busy, a little bit too busy to, like, get in ridiculous amounts of games right now, and, like, just wanting to play all of the different decks I possibly can. Because, again, I really don't have a clue what, like, the best Delver decks are. Okay. Okay, this hand is fine. So it's my initial impression on Uro is this is a little awkward because in this hand it doesn't really do anything, right? Like we get Uro, if we find land, we can get Uro, we can cast it on turn 3, but when are we planning to escape it? That being said, this is an interactive hand, which means the game will go a little bit longer, so in that game, Uro might be pretty reasonable. Fetch an island, preordain. Some kind of combo, Delver. Two cards on top, okay. So, Hexstringer's got it's like a good draw. The question is, are they going to wasteland me? Do I need to ponder for a Force of Will? I think it's fine to just cast it on turn 1 here. I will get punished if they wasteland me. But I don't really know what they're doing necessarily yet. I have no opinion on Uro yet. This is the first game I've seen it in hand, and all the opinions I've had on it, I have provided. So I have no idea. In this, so far, it looks a little awkward, but that doesn't really mean anything. Tamagotchi's a good draw. Now, the question is... Well, there's a couple of questions, because I can essentially decide what direction I want to go with my game plan here. I'm not going to level up Hex Drinker, and I don't think I want to wasteland them. Are they a combo deck, or are they some kind of Delver? There's the first thing I need to address, because if they're a combo deck and I just cast Tamagotchi, I mean, I'm going to lose. Because this hand doesn't do anything, obviously, against combo. If they're a Delver deck, they can daze my Tamagotchi, but that's fine, like, based on how this is going. But then I'm playing this Wasteland, which is going to incentivize them to Wasteland me more, because they're going to be like, oh, okay. They'll daze return Volcanic Island, they'll be like, oh, they don't have another land. So I'm going to attack, I'm going to see what they do before I get any information. Hey, Frank! Yeah, Lightning Bolt right in the face. Look, this hand's so perfectly set up to do it. Thanks for the follow. Hope you're doing well. I'm playing Tamagotchi. The thing is, if I ponder plus Wasteland, I'm kind of trusting this Hex Shrinker a lot. I do think they're playing Show and Tell. No, I'm gonna ponder. If I think they're playing Show and Tell, I want to Wasteland them, and this is fine. Yeah, I think they're on Show and Tell based on what they did so far. I'm gonna shuffle those because they're horrible. Found a Daze, cool. Okay, now if they're not playing Delver and they're playing Stifle instead, I still want to hold up the ability to Wasteland their Island. Yeah, it seems very unlikely, like, that it's Delver based on what they've done so far. Like, they kept their cards. Yeah, I agree. And I think Tamagotchi would just, like, lead me to losing too much. This hand is just, like, not equipped to deal with Delver, not Delver, with combo anyway. So I'm definitely going to have to get a little bit, probably more than a little bit lucky here. But no, we went, we forward. So cool game though. I've definitely learned a lot about that deck. We played against Bug Control or Sultai Control. What could they be doing? Island. Well, okay, it's definitely not Delver. The unfortunate part is this brainstorm needs to find like a fetch land and a Force of Will. Or, well, between the next 4 draws, we need to find those 2 cards. So, it's probably too bad if we draw a land to just play the Goif. But we really don't have much pressure on, like Hexlink is just not doing anything. It is nice that it's better than Nimble Mongoose here. It's also better than Hooting Mantles here, for what it's worth. I can't imagine winning this game where this brainstorm doesn't find at least a fetch land and not maybe also some kind of additional interaction. I think if we just ponder, our hand is still going to be Lightning Bolt, Dismember, bunch of crap, and we're pondering for a land. I think we need to high roll on a brainstorm here. So I'm going to attack for 2 and I'm going to cast a brainstorm. It's just they've cast cantrips, they're developing their mana. We need to get a little fortunate here. If they Spell Pierce me, I'll daze it. Well, this is exactly what I was talking about. We needed to get fortunate, and we did. This is a superb set of cards. I'm going to play around Daze. I just couldn't imagine a world where just pondering and leaving the 2 worst cards in our hand would ever yield us a win. So, yeah, finding the perfect set of cards there was really nice. Sure, sure. Yeah, so we're going to force pitching Uro, because that card doesn't matter. They have Spell Pierce. So we're in a little bit of a tricky situation, because if we force pitch the Ponder, we're taxed into drawing the Dismember and the Bolt, but I was going to cast Tomahawk next turn anyway, so I think that was going to happen regardless. So I'm just going to force pitching the Ponder, because still having the Daze is nice. And I'll force on the Force Will. They have to have something like a Spell Pierce. Hey, thanks for following, Mr. Fringe. And we're still somewhat set up for like a sneak attack. We can't beat a second show and tell for like whatever huge creature. But we get in for 2, then 6 plus a lightning bolt, so the clock gets pretty quick here. We actually are kind of well set up against the Griselbrand, because we can dismember the Griselbrand. If they just cast Sneak Attack with an extra land, I'm going to Daze it. Okay. There's some benefit to using the Hex Drinker, so I'm going to level it up once, because then we'll have 2 4-power attackers if I really want to next turn. This game was a case study in, like, sometimes you need to get lucky, and you need to figure out what you need to do in order to get lucky, and of course we did, but, like, it's a little bit too... Playing conservatively in these kind of situations just isn't going to do it. So, just got to identify those moments sometimes, and that can be difficult. Hey, thanks for the follow. He's Zera, 511. Cool. Yeah, I mean, that was obviously... Yeah, we found 2 Force Wolves in a land, so... Okay, Pyroblast in, for sure. Veil of Summer, probably. Surgical, maybe. And Brazen Bower, probably. And then the rest of these are kind of like... I'm not going to bring an Ancient Grudge unless we see Defense Grid. Which, yeah, it's just not worth bringing in, like, in the blind. So, we of course don't want Dismember. Oh, it's just not a card. It's so slow in this kind of matchups. Hex Drinker's fine as a threat. I'm going to start by bringing out all these bolts, because I don't really want them, but we'll see where we end up. I might want 1 just, like, as a way to close the door. Sylvan Library is fine. It's nice to keep you up on cards, but not applying pressure is kind of a big deal. Is it better than Brazen Bower? Is Sylvan better than Surgical? Is Bolt better than Surgical? Bolt might be better than Surgical. So what if we did like this? 1 Bolt, no Surgicals. Because Surgical is a little bit of a gotcha when you don't have Thoughtseize in your deck. And even when you do have Thoughtseize, it's kind of a gotcha. And I don't really want to rely on that as the plan. Just like, oh, I'll just hope that I'll counter their show and tell, exile them, and then hope that they never draw a sneak attack. Their decks also play Blood Moon, which we can't beat. So, that seems a little... I'd rather just have Lightning Bolt in my deck. And I think Sylvan's better than any of these, so... Cool, we'll give it a shot. Oh, boy. Okay, I'm gonna keep this. This isn't very good, but we only need a little bit to make this hand good. Like, right now it's not, but, like, at some point in the future here it might be. Yeah, Stifle can just be really awkward. Let's see. Yeah, so if that was Surgical, would that be better? Probably not, honestly. Like, I guess it looks like it would do a little bit more, but... So we'll pass with a Stifle up. I'm not planning on casting Dwarf next turn anyway. I'll use whatever disruption we can. Yeah, I'll hit that with a Stifle. Let me use my mana. Maybe it buys me some time. Maybe it gets me through some of the disruption. Like, now I don't have to... Oh, they're brainstorming. Okay. Cypher's a classic. The one Uro Delver deck I haven't played since the bannings was traditional Canadian Threshold. I haven't played Nimble Mongoose in my deck yet. It's so hard to believe that card is gonna like keep up with what Legacy is doing right now. Even though a lot of this looks like older Legacy, there is still a decent amount of like more powerful cards going on here. So, oh, they're gonna Force Will. They definitely have a Force Will, unless they have a Daze or whatever. But they're thinking about it. I would not mind a Force Will, even though my hand doesn't really do much right now, because now I don't have to play around an extra Force Will. If I can find a Force Will. I still need to find that. Like, if I draw Force Will, now I'm just going to cast Temur Uro. I do need to find something, though. Pyroblast. That's good. That's good. So, I'm going to pass this turn. Next turn, I'm probably going to try to Ponder. I'm going to play this a little bit more slowly. If they have Blood Moon, this Brazen Bower actually does a little bit of work there, which is cool. Not counting that. Pyroblast is too valuable. It sucks that if they don't cast anything I want to use my mana on, then I just don't use my mana this turn. But most of my spells are pretty cheap, so that should be okay. They went bottom. No land. And a Delver. I'm going to Ponder. I want to find one more land or Force Will. Daze. Daze is probably good enough, honestly. Because I have the Stifle and the Pyroblast. So, and then what I'm going to do is next turn I'm going to fetch away those cards and I'm just going to cast a Delver next turn. I don't need to hold up Stifle plus Pyroblast. Defense Grid. So, that's awkward. So, what do I do here? I could just buy some time by Brazen Borrowing it. I don't think that's very good. I'm gonna Lightning Bolt them. Because now I gotta kind of change my plan, because I don't really have a good way to get through this Defense Grid. And I can't interact with this. I can't interact with it, of course. So I'm just going to bolt them, and I'm going to try to shift into an aggressive plan, where if they show and tell in something like a Griselbrand, maybe I can put in a Tarmogoyf, Brazen Bower, bounce the Goyf, stifle the draw, and kind of form a plan from there. So let's see what we have here. Another Daze. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to cast Tarmogoyf. I can't cast anything on their turn anyway. I could just Brazen Bower and try to buy time and force them to do that, but that just doesn't seem like a particularly good route. So let's just do this. Let's get the pressure on this turn. I can't cast anything, so I can just F6. And we'll see what they're going to do. Hopefully they're show and tell in a Griselbrand, which is a weird thing for me to hope, but okay, they didn't do anything. Okay, cool. This is great. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to Brazen Bower the Defense Grid, which, if they want to counter, they have to use Force Will and pay 3 mana. Then I might double Daze it on the way down. So let's do this. And I think I'm going to cast another Delver. Actually, I would love if they Force Will, because then I Daze to my land, replay. Yeah, no, okay. So we'll attack for 3. I should have attacked first, because now they can interact with my Goyf, technically, but... I could hold up Pyroblast, but they're probably going to cast Defense Grid. And in that case, I want to just get my my Delver in play to be as aggressive as possible. And now, with the way this game is played out, I'm a little bit insulated from some of their more, like, potent cards like Emrakul because I can stifle the Annihilator trigger. I can stifle a card draw trigger on Gristlebrand, although raising a 7/7 is still going to be tough. And double A's is nice here. So let's see if they just slam. Magus of the Moon. That is going to get dazed. That's not a big deal. And now we have a situation where we're at 2-turn clock. So if they can't actually waste their time casting Defense Grid. So let's transform. And I'm just going to pass with Pyroblast, Stifle, Daze, and Brazen Bow up. So, yeah, that's it. That was a nice way to get through the Defense Grid. Cool. Okay, yeah. The Defense Grid definitely looked like it would be difficult. But, again, that's the kind of situation where you have to reassess and be like, okay, most of my hand doesn't really work against that, so how do I form a plan that's actually going to work? And the plan is basically get some pressure into play, and hope that they can't kill you on the following turn. If they can kill you, sure, whatever. You know, you have to put that up in the air. But if they can't kill you, obviously we were able to set up a nice plan that played through the defense grid and put them under too much pressure to redeploy it. So, cool, nice. So the Delver part of my deck was really good there. Hex Drinker was a 2/1, so that was fine. Uro got pitched to Force. I mean, this is a Delver hand, so I'm in. I'm not 100% sure how good Goyf is either. Like, it's a little awkward that it gets outsized by Grubmag Angler in decks that don't have artifacts. Okay. So I can't cast a red spell anyway, because Folk Bolt's a sorcery. So I'm just going to do this. We'll see what they do. Am I brainstorming at a turn? I don't think so. Am I force willing a Tarmogoyf? Probably. So, I guess they'd have to have double Daze or like Daze plus Force Will in order to stop my Folk Bolt. I'm gonna let this resolve. I don't know. I can get punished. I know I can get punished. But they have to have 2 pieces of free interaction. So let's just force them to have 2 pieces of free interaction. And even if they do, they are kind of spewing some cards off. Okay, that's fine. And now the Goyfs are going to be really meaningful here. It's starting to turn off pretty quickly. Brainstorm, sure. I think they have a Forcible. No, I think they might have Forcible there. So maybe not. Spike Dragon implies that they don't have Stifle. I think that's generally not the kind of pair you want in your deck. So, Young Pyromancer. With Fork Bolt going, I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to force this, pitching to Brainstorm. Obviously, I'd like to get rid of some of these lands, but I'm just going to have a Goyf train coming in, so I'd rather just get Goyf down than Goyf down, so that seems pretty good to me. Yeah, they do have a Force Will, so they're going to fight back, that's fine. Hopefully that means they're a little bit lighter on spells. 2 Tarmogoyfs will certainly overwhelm Young Pyromancer. So, Wasteland, sure. True Name would be kind of worst case for me, but they don't have one because they did what they just did. So, we are starting to flood, of course, but we do have Uro in our deck, and Hextrigger, both of which use up mana pretty well, so. Let's get in. I don't want to cast Tarmogoyf just in case they have another Force Will, or like Daze or whatever. I don't want them to Daze and get a token and be able to jump block. I don't think they have Brazen Bow, but they might. Sure. So double Young Pyromancer can definitely keep up, but I don't think they have any spells right now. So certainly no cantrips, at least. Brainstorm, good draw. So let's just attack first. Same principle. Maybe they're going to block and bolt. Okay, so let's just drop this Brainstorm and see what we find. They might just Spell Pierce it to get 2 tokens. Daze. Yeah, so this is why I didn't want to cast the thing earlier. Daze is a card that makes a lot of sense that they have. So that buys them some time, but it's not a very good exchange of resources. Like, they get 2 tokens, which they're going to use to chump, but... Oh, dear lord. Okay, so let's do this, and then I'll just fetch on their upkeep. Okay, so if they just draw two cantrips, we might just lose this straight up. But this, okay, so they drew another spell for sure. Stifle. Okay, so that's actually okay. I can stifle a token trigger. Bolt face. Another Daze. Okay, yeah, we might lose this. I mean, Young Pyromancer... of course, we drew a ridiculous amount of lands here, so... So, we'll see what happens. Should Folkbolt be Chain Lightning? I don't know. I've liked Folkbolt. I don't know. I think I'm cool having Folkbolt. So, yeah, let's do this. Let's play a land. Delver of Secrets. Okay. Block. Okay, we need to find something good here. Ah, here's a spot where Uro is not bad. So they have no cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If we draw a land, we can Uro again. Do I Uro first? Yeah, I Uro first just in case I find... Because if I find Lightning Bolt, that's pretty good. So let's do that. Let's plot my mana out here. 1, 2, 3. And I still have 2 drops left in my deck. So... 1, 2, 3. Okay, so... I have never stacked this in a way that needs to play around cycles. So I want the sack trigger to go on the bottom and then draw the card first. Okay, then we play this. So we're dead to Lightning Bolt. Oh, no, because they wastelanded me. They wastelanded me, of course. Of course. Okay, so the best course of action here is to pass and hope they don't flip. If they don't flip, then they give or draw a Spike Dragon. Then that gives us the best chance here. So if they flip, I lose. Okay, oh, it was very cool there. They can't just put me to 1. And now Uro's gonna do some work. They have all the types, not sorcery, so I want to leave sorcery. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we'll do this. I don't need to put that into play anymore. Done. Yeah, now we'll just hang out. If they transform, we're not dead. If they transform with Lightning Bolt, I think we're exactly dead, right? We take 3, we block 3 of them, we go to 0. Yeah, and that's because we fetched. So, always worth keeping that kind of stuff in mind. Force of negation, sure. Okay, cool. So let's just attack with Uro and see what they're going to do. We don't need to put the land in play. Okay, Uro is, of course, impressing me here. Yep, they have to chump. We'll play a Delver. And now we're just kind of getting out of range here. If they cast any cantrip, I'm of course going to Force Will that. Or Force Negation it. Let's see if we transform. Tarmogoyf. No, but I think Tarmogoyf's still fine. So I'll draw that, and I think I'm going to attack with Goyf and Uro. If I attack with all three, I'm up to 14. Let's say, hypothetically, they have double spell they can cast. Force Negation, Force of Will. So they Force Will, they get 4 extra tokens. They have to block some number of my creatures. We go up to 14. They have to block Uro. If I attack with both Tarmogoyfs as well, they have to block at least one of those. So that leaves them with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 damage, which would leave me dead to a bolt. I don't see any reason to die to a bolt here. I can just let them keep jumping. I'm drawing 2 cards a turn. Yeah, I mean, this is impressive. Like, it's very clear that this is the reason you play, in your Delver deck. This is very impressive. I don't want to cast this Sylvan Library because I know they have Force Negation in hand, and I don't want to really give them a target. I don't need the Sylvan Library here. Yeah, I mean, it was like very good there. It just like it was the only kind of card that would like get us out of that situation. That was pretty sick. This is a game I'm going to reference back to when I'm like thinking about pursuing Uro in the Delver decks, because that was very impressive. So yeah, we want Pyroblast for sure, and as per usual, I don't really want Force Negation. I really don't like Sylvan Library in these kind of situations, like against Delver. I know a lot of people do. We have a powerful endgame engine. I don't think we need Sylvan. I'm happy to bring in Closes though. I do like Closes. I just want cards that like do something when you're like as a threat or whatever. Like I don't want just like draw cards. Rough Tumble's interesting, but they have Spike Dragon as well. I really don't think I want to bring that in, and I don't think I want Brazen Borrower. But like I don't want all these forces either. Maybe Brazen Borrower is just fine. Ooh, get an Echo. I am not sure. I'm gonna have to look at that. But thank you for letting me know. I don't love Veil here. The reason is it's just like I need to have an extra mana up. It only interacts with specific cards, only when they're on the stack. It's pretty narrow. I mean, it's not bad. Maybe we will just want like an Abrade over like a Force. Yeah, that sounds fine. That sounds good to me. We'll leave in the Stifles. There's a lot of Force Wolves for me to leave in with There's a lot of Force Wolves for me to leave in for a Delver matchup, but I think Uro might make that better, actually. How much is Uro changing my equation on Sylvan Library? Okay, let's try it. Let's try it. I don't want this Abrade. No, let's bring in the Abrade, not the Force Wolf. This is for learning purposes. No, probably not Blue Red Delver today. I think by the time I get through this league and I just finished the Grixis one, we'll be entering smooth playing zones as we entered last time, where it's going to be more difficult to focus. Yeah, this is just answers and Tarmogoyf, so this is essentially a perfect answer. I mean, perfect is you know, doing air quotes here, but. Why am I echoing? Okay, that was a good draw. We'll just play Delver. Yeah, I'm not going to paralyze that. I'm okay with that. Blood Moon is the kind of thing I'm most concerned about. Yep. But once I get the quite down, I'm not going to be nearly as concerned about it. This Pyroblast is getting thrown at a True Name Nemesis, so I will not be Pyroblasting a Breakthrough. Yep, that's fine. It cannot hit a Lotus Battle, correct? Flight tracking. Okay, I'm going to bolt that. I don't need to play on days. I mean, I don't need to play into days. Maybe I'll avoid it. That actually seems better. So let's do that. Hey, thanks for follow. Kozalex72. Much appreciated. Yeah, I know I have to figure it out. I don't want to do it mid-game. I don't have a clue why I'm not echoing, honestly. Okay, we're looking great this game, though. I'm still concerned about True Name more than I am this. No, I'm gonna Power Blast this. If they get True Name down, sure. It's just essentially kind of a 2-for-1, right? Because it's a 3-1 plus it bounces my spell. Probably, yeah, Magic Maniacs. I don't know what I'm gonna play in it, but I'm pretty sure I'm gonna play it. Spike Dragon doesn't bother me here. I'm actually not even gonna kill it. Because I have lethal very soon here. I have 5 damage in hand. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna see what they have. Let's wasteland this. 1/1. Get them to 3. And then I'll bolt them on my upkeep. On their upkeep. So they don't have a spell. And bolt. Pretty smooth game. That was nice. Okay, yeah, we're 2-0. I'm gonna try to fix this echo. So give me 1 second. Let's do this. Coffee break. Okay, I think there's something else going on here. Am I still audible? Did that fix it? Are we out of echo territory? Oh, it's gone? Nice. Cool. It just like turned on. Yeah, okay, cool. Sorry about that, everyone. I have no idea why it activated that. It just like turned on my other mic as a setting. I really don't have a clue. Cool. Cool. Yeah, 2-0. That was sweet. That was a cool match. Really showcased over there in game 1. So that was pretty messed up. Let's see. Yeah, I think Shadow's good right now. I haven't seen too many Sword Tabashi's decks, honestly. Like it still shows up, but I think it's still pretty good. Yeah, I think a normal Shadow deck looks pretty good. I'd be happy to play that right now. What did I beat? Show and Tell. Got kind of fortunate in game 1, and then game 2 again also got kind of fortunate. There were like some specific situations that we found ourselves in, and we were able to find a way out. Thanks for the follow, Recco. Okay. This is a normal-ish Delver hand, so I'm gonna keep it. We'll see how Hexdrinker plays out this game. We're definitely leading on Delver though. It's not so much allow subscribers. It's Twitch has to let me allow subscribers, which means I have to stream more to meet their qualifications for that. Okay, so Delver. Yeah, okay, I'm just gonna lean on Delver then. We'll be the threat deck. Hopefully they daze me. I will not daze back. Yep, perfect. So this means the reason I really want that to happen is because we have tons of 1-mana threats and a Wasteland. So we're going to be able to switch the narrative here pretty certainly. What did they reveal? Brainstorm. And they're doing a pretty day. Cool. Okay, so I'm going to Wasteland next turn and then cast Delver, hold up Daze. It's a little awkward to dismember this Delver. I probably am going to do it. By the time I'm dismembering this Delver, our life total is going to be 10, I think? Maybe 9. So we're going to be a little low, but they're both going to go out of creatures anyway. Let's just start here. It could just be right to go dismember here, but I don't know. Hey, thanks for the follow, Ramius. Oh, and I missed Judge Dredge. Thanks for the follow. If I dismember now, we preserve our life total more, but we don't turn the corner quite as hard. I really want to turn the corner here, so let's. They have a Brainstorm in hand. I like Forager in Shadow quite a bit, actually. It does change the deck pretty substantially, no doubt. You end up playing a substantially slower game. But I think if you want to beat Sword Spellshares decks, you should be playing Forager in your deck, because it puts so much pressure on them to have the answer. It functions like General Organist in that regard. I should have waited until their upkeep to play on Force Negation. The only time this punishes me is if they also have Force to Will. And they are going to be incentivized to Force Negation this. I mean, this is fine. It's just, do they also have Force to Will? I don't mind that. Okay, cool. So they have 3 cards in hand. We're at 10. We have the threat right now. I don't know if they have more lands. Okay, they do. So Hooting Mandrills would be bad here, because I just used my Dismember. Underground. Oh, Gomag Angler is even worse for us. Oh, they don't have it. Okay, good. It is even worse for us, but... Daze is good. So let's play Hex Drinker. It's not going to be leveling up anytime soon, but if I have to Daze. They want one top, one bottom. Yeah, the whale, it can be really good. Like, it is an impressive card. Okay, so, this is an interesting question. If I don't Daze to protect my Hex Drinker, that means that I can potentially stop them from doing anything meaningful on the next turn, like go my Gungler or answer my card. But I don't have any real follow-up, and the problem is that if I don't Daze this and don't have a good follow-up, then they can just play 2 lands and then play Gomag Angler playing around the Daze. So do I want to get the value now? Why are they Dazing? They have an Underground Sea in hand. If they had a Gomag Angler in hand, they would let this resolve so they can go Gomag Angler protected from Daze. I don't think they have a Gomag Angler. I'm going to Daze. Do they also have Force Will? Oh, they definitely have Force Will. So that means they don't have a Gomag Angler coming out then. Maybe they have another cantrip? Okay. If they have Gomag Angler, it's going to be tough for me. So I got to keep mindful of that. Yeah, it can definitely... Hex Drinker plus, like, playing around Soft Mission can be pretty clunky. You have to do things at awkward times, but... Yeah, okay, they did not have a Gomag Angler. That was the whole deal there. Okay. That being said, we'll see Hex Drinker in full force here. Listen, they don't need to be lands when you're playing Delver. It's turn 5. This is a decent amount of lands to have in play. If they have a Lightning Bolt, they have to throw it at the Hex Drinker here. Pyromancer. So they're going to go to 1? Okay, Hex Drinker's doing some good stuff here. Unless they're going to Chump Block. There's no way they Chump Block, right? Where is Valakut? Actually, Valakut got super turbocharged recently because they printed cards that have worked very well with Valakut. Hold on. You know what? I'll post it. They printed this card. Oh yeah, this. Can I just post the image? Oh, it's giving me my own chat rules. No, hold on. Let me get the link here. Yeah, this card turbocharges with Valakut. Because then you don't have to play any mountains in your deck. Okay, so Grixis Delver. I like Brazen Bower a little bit more because they're more likely to have Gomag Angler. Closest, still good. Veil might get better here because they have Fatal Push and potentially Thoughtseize, and I still like Pyroblast. I'm going to... So let's just start here. Cut all my forces. Now, I know I just left in some forces in my other matchup, so... If we do this, I still like Fork Bolt. Maybe I don't like Brazen Baller that much. Like, do I want some number of Force Walls? I don't think so, because Force Walls also works against Thoughtseize. But do I want Double Veil? Double Veil, I didn't see Fatal Push. I do like the Brazen Ballers, though. They are very good against Comeback Angler. Maybe I just bring in... like that? Nah, I'll try to be grindy, I think. Let's bring in the Power Blast. It is different than Rug Delver. Than how I just approached the blue-red matchup. It gets really... it doesn't feel super scientific. It's just like... based on a lot of past experience, I'm just like, this just feels like I should be sideboarding a little bit differently because the valuation of cards changes a little bit. This is not a very scientific approach. Because I left in so many Force Walls against Blue Red Delver, and here I'm leaving in none. And even though there are scarier cards here, but that's not even true because Blue Red Delver has Blood Moon, which is a little bit more game ending than Comeback Angler. Like, Comeback Angler will kill me, sure, but yeah, okay, this ends fine. It's not perfect because I can't answer early pressure, so I could just die to a Delver. Looks like a Delver. Yep. Okay. Another Goyf. Okay, so we're going to try to apply pressure to this game. I'm just going to cast a Goyf on turn 2, so I really hope I get to Stifle something here, but it's not that likely. Completely without duels? Shadow's the closest you're going to get, realistically, because you are incentivized to play more shock lands than anything else, but the problem is you still want duels because that deck has some pretty stringent mana requirements. So, like, playing basics gets really costly. Hey, thanks for the follow, Zero for Cone. Blue-Red Delver also gets kind of close because you can kind of trim on some of the duels. But you really do want duels in these decks. So, it is hard, and I know they're really expensive, obviously. I'm not, callous to that fact. It's just, yeah, it's tough. So many of these decks really need to hit their mana at certain times. So they went bottom. I'm going to pass, because I do still want to Stifle the land, and I'm not under that much pressure here. And I think I can play these Goyfs around. I can play these Goyfs around Days. They reveal the Brainstorm. Sure. Yeah, Shadow's definitely the closest you're going to get. Like, you could probably get away with, like, 1 under guarantee. I've had people talk to me a little bit about making that deck without any duels. It's just, you really need to hit your black mana. And your blue mana on curve. Like, you need them both all the time. But Shadow's good. Shadow's fun. I enjoy Shadow in Modern too. I did well with that in an Invitational once, so that's a very fun deck. Wasteland. I'll stifle the Wasteland. Okay, so let's start here. See what they're gonna do. This could be a point that I can really take advantage of my dazes and like punish them the way they cast their spells. If they do anything, that's the best choice for them. So if you're in this situation, this is a pretty common situation where it's just like there's some lands and they're casting a spell. Just wait for things to resolve in general. Because if you wasteland me here and I don't have a stifle, I can just daze my brainstorm. If you fetch and I do have stifle, like there's just a lot of ways for it to go wrong. So let's put that back. Do I want Uro? I'm not particularly close to getting that going. I don't think I need to Brazen Ball away, though. Maybe Uro's just better than a Forcible here. Oh, not Forcible, then Atomic Wave. No, I don't think I want it yet. Although my mana isn't going to be under attack, because, well, it is, but I'm going to Stifle, potentially, here. Yeah, I don't think I need this Uro. Let's see what they're going to do here. Okay, this makes sense. This is probably what they should do. We'll get a Volk. And let's see what they do on my upkeep. Nothing. Okay. Hey, Pokimoki, thanks for the follow. So I don't need to fetch. I still want to hold up this Stifle. So let's just pass, and then on their upkeep, I'm going to Pyroblast their Volcanic Island. I might not Stifle the Wasteland now. Maybe I'm just going to go after the Flutterstrand. They brainstormed, and they have not fetched. So let's do this. See what they have. Nothing. And they're still going to draw. Okay. They are clearly conscious of Stifle. Based on how this played out, Uro would have been a little better, I think. But it does open me up to Pyroblast. Okay, I can't really deny them mana at this point, so that makes me want to Stifle the Wasteland more. This is almost certainly going to be a Go-Mag Angler. Oh, Thoughtseize? Can I draw Veil Summer? Are they going to Pyroblast this? Now I am going to Stifle this. Because I would like my Brainstorm to resolve. If they daze me, that's fine. So then daze plus Pyroblast is like their setup here. That's fine. So they'll take a Tarmogoyf, and then I'll have Tarmogoyf plus daze, but the daze doesn't do too much here. So I know they have an Underground Sea in hand, and almost certainly a Pyroblast and or a Flusterstorm, whatever it's going to cast up this Brainstorm. It's probably not a threat. I think they would have just cast Go-Mag Angler, because that was a really clean place to cast Go-Mag Angler. Especially if they have a Pyroblast. They might have True Name. There's little I can do about a True Name at this stage of the game. Hit me. You got it. All yours, friend. Huh, so while this resolves, what, y'all excited for the old border cards from Time Travel Master? There are a lot of really cool ones. Which ones are exciting y'all the most, if any? I assume some number are, because they're really cool. I think mine is probably the Lingering Souls. Ooh, I do Uro. That's so good. Okay, I'm just gonna cast Uro. So we'll draw the card first, see if we try and draw Stifle. We did not. Okay, so now we're gonna fetch up a trap and we're just gonna cast Tomboy. If they daze me, it makes my Uro more likely. Like, I'm just gonna cast Uro, like I just wanna use my cards here. Uro has been very good in these Delver matchups. These Delver mirrors. Undeniably very powerful. Oh, yeah, man, Lingering Souls is so nice. That's just one of my favorite cards. What is this? Double Lightning Bolt on top of it? That doesn't make sense. I wouldn't expect that. Yeah, you can see it in the top left. It's small. Do they have Cling to Dust? That would be a bit of a butt. Right now it depends on the card. Oh, they have Thoughtseize. Okay. Like, some of the old border cards, are really cool, and some of the original printings are really cool. I really like my Pondos. I have the original printing, and I have Japanese ones of those. I'll probably keep those. Yeah, it really depends on which one it is, because some of them are just unbelievable. Brazen Ball, I don't mind that. Okay, well. They might have a daze, but that's fine. They didn't daze my Tamagotchi, so I can just do this again next turn. It was kind of taking it away here. Yep, this card is ridiculous. Okay, I'm starting to be convinced. The Thoughtseize looks amazing. Completely agreed. I don't play foils IRL, so I don't really have to think too much about that. But yeah, I agree. The Thoughtseize looks gorgeous. The Grey Merchant looks gorgeous. There's a lot of cool ones. I'll definitely be playing some number of them. There's no question. Plague Engineer. Okay. So I'm probably just going to bounce that, attack with both my creatures, play Tamagotchi. The Dismember is really cool. I love the ones with the black border are sick. Well, I can just start by attacking and see what I draw before I make any decisions here. Yeah, I think this is fine. I mean, of course I could just trade it off and didn't just recast it, but oh, they're just gonna take it. Okay. Wow. Yeah. I mean, this is my first time playing Uro and Delver, and I don't know why I'd be surprised. It's been really, really good in these mirrors. Certainly one of the most important cards. I mean, it makes sense. It's a card I lose to a lot when I play Delver. So, in fact, the only loss so far in the stream is to another. So, really, really impressive card. It has been a little awkward. I don't want to have too much in the way of like rose-colored glasses in this situation because it was awkward against Seek and Show. Obviously, we drew perfectly to find a double Force Will and land, but it was certainly pretty awkward there. So that's definitely worth keeping in mind. But it has been really impressive, so that's pretty sick. I'm just gonna use the bathroom. I'll be back in like a minute or two. I'm gonna put on the little coffee break, and I'll be right back. All right, I am back. Let's see what we have. Oh, yeah, it's been so good in these Delver matchups. I can definitely picture worlds where it's just not that good, but with all respect to Uro, not that Uro needs to be given more respect, the situations in which it's been awkward, slow, and/or clunky that not only has come up so far, but I can picture coming up, are the same situations in which a card like True Name Nemesis would be clunky. Like, you don't want True Name against your Sync Control opponent, so it's come out. So, that's not too different. Usually when you're casting True Name as your threat against a combo deck, you're losing. So, because your clock's just not fast enough, they had a lot of time to set up, and even though you'll get them to 4 or something, it's just usually not enough. But, it's just definitely really interesting. Hexdrinker's also been fine. It's been fine. It makes sense to the threat here. You can't really play Hooting Mantles and you can't play Noble Mongoose, so and having an extra 1-mana threat makes sense. So, all right, let's keep going. Oh, thanks for the follow, Brainstorm Fetch. The classic combo. My favorite is when people realize the interaction for the first time. They're just like, oh, you put the bad card from your hand back on top, and then you fetch them away, and you don't have to draw them. It's like, it's nice. It's sweet. Ah, God. Threats in the Effect Drinker slot? Like, what 1-mana threats exist? I think 1-mana threats are kind of what you're looking for here, because Uro's already a little bit clunky, so you want something you can get ahead. Like, you don't want... Like, this deck has 6 2-drops, right? And... Sure, maybe Sylvan Libraries are better as some other threat, like Spike Dragon or Young Pyromancer, who knows. But when it comes to threats, you really... That 1-mana slot is just, like, so crucial. What would I replace it with? It cannot be Hooting Mandrills and Nimble Mongoose. That much I'm 100% sure of. Because while Hooting Mandrills and Nimble Mongoose is kind of an combo because they work against each other for the most part, Uro, I mean, that's just devastating for your Nimble Mongoose. You can't hit your graveyard that hard. I don't know what else you could play. I mean, you could just play more interaction, less threats, more Uros, something like that. That's not unreasonable. Yeah, I'm really racking my brain here. Like, there aren't, outside of the core Delver threats, a lot of the other ones have their time and place depending on how you're building your deck. So, there's not... Temur tends to have a lot of threats that are, like, very situational. Like, Nimble Mongoose is situational, Hooting Mandrills is situational, even Tomahawk is situational. I'm not sure. This is the... I just copied the 10th place list from the challenge outside of an extra Brazen Ball in the sideboard over Surgical. And I just wasn't sure what I was preparing against. I'm sure this is really close to Waka Rock. Waka Rock's a master. Love his deck list. Love their deck list, actually. I don't know. I love their deck lists. And yeah, it's felt really good so far. This is certainly going to turn my attention towards Uro for the near future as I explore decks, which realistically means exploring Temur and Sultai, which I think that's reasonable. Like, of course, I've always spout that I think Lightning Bolt is really important for these decks, but some of those Sultai lists that have come out have looked very, very good. So, you can't tell me the same thing as Timberlongers. You can't play in this deck. Okay, this is an okay hand. I want to lead on Hootie Mandrels, Hexshrinker. Because you want the blue card for force. I will be forcing an Aether Vial. And I will probably be wastelanding their port. There's no rush to get my threat in play. Let's just slow them down. Okay, this is of course unfortunate, but not much I can do about this. Okay, I am fine with this. This isn't pretty, but it preserves our lands. It's unclear, honestly, which between any of the Delver decks are better. Like, they all seem like they have their place in this world we're living in right now. So I am really quite unsure about anything. Like, all the Delver lists I've played have felt roughly as good as each other. So, like, Uro's felt good here, but I have been really impressed with True and Grixis. I've been impressed with Spike Dragon out of Blue-Red. You know, Ethereal Forager has been really good. Yeah, I mean, it's probably settling in more where, like, you can make those identifications, but, like, as to what's better based on, like, what people are showing up with. I just don't have, my finger on the pulse in that regard yet. So, okay, what is this, Thalia? Spirit of the Labyrinth. Okay, so the thing I'm concerned about is Apparition. I don't need to do anything to this right now because I drew the Tarmogoyf. So I would think Grixis is the best in that matchup because the black cards add more to the deck than any of the other colors. So if they move it up and put Skyclave into play, it's difficult. I mean, the Aether Vial, I mean, I've certainly made their draw awkward, I'm sure, but the Aether Vial is pretty good. I can attack Goyf in, but I can't really attack Hexshrinker, because they could have Thalia. Oh, this is so good if they have Thalia here. Oh, this was the situation I needed to happen. It makes sense that they would do it, and somebody mentioned Folkbolt earlier, like why would you play Folkbolt over Chain Lightning? There are times, and X1s are relatively, like, there's non-zero that they're going to show up, so. And now we have a 6/7 Tarmogoyf. And now even if they have Skyclave Apparition, we're going to be attacking for 4 next turn anyway. This is a very good situation for us. We're not out of the woods, but we are looking quite good. Yeah, it's like all the Delver matchups are close against Grixis. Against Death and Dexes. They're all a little bit tough. But I'd rather be playing Grixis if I had to pick one. Okay, so if they have this plus Skyclave Apparition, which it looks like they do, we're right back into a difficult situation. So. But Hex Drinker could just kind of power through this. Let's see what they have. They have Battleskull in hand. I'm sure they have something. Maybe Flicker Wisp. Recruiter. Okay, that's more manageable. Skyclave, that makes sense. Okay, so we're going to be facing them Battleskull. It would have been nice to draw the days, like to have the days instead of the Force Negation here. A lot of our draws have been a little awkward this game, but they, reasonably, considering how the game has played out, it has lined up very well. So, yeah, I think honestly the White X creature decks are pretty good at this moment. If we just draw a land, that might not be bad. So what's going to happen here? I think what I'm going to do is just attack with the Tarmogoyf. No, because then they just put in their thing. If I just level up Hex Drinker, but it doesn't matter, at some point they're going to get the Hex Drinker anyway. Is there any chance... Is there any chance that I should just level this up, force them to put in the apparition, then pass? That sounds somewhat reasonable. If they have a second apparition, that's going to be bad, but they didn't have one previously, so they certainly don't. I don't think they have a second. If I just attack with the Tarmogoyf, what are they going to do? I mean, of course I want them, but I can't imagine baiting them into doing this. I'm going to attack them for 6 with Tarmogoyf. I'm going to see what they do with that. They might just take it. They might just pass. They might just chump and put in the Battleskull, and then they'll clock back in, which is a little annoying. Oh, good. This is what I needed. Okay, if they have Swords to Plowshares, I can't really beat that. So, hopefully they don't have it. It makes sense that they would. Okay, cool. So now we have protection from everything. So all we need to do is draw a Lightning Bolt now. And then we're going to win, because there's no way for them to get through it. So that's what I wanted to happen. I wanted to bait them into... Oh, I do have protection from Innocence. You're right. Yeah, I don't know why they wouldn't get the Hex Drinker. Maybe they thought that the damage was too much. They also didn't put in the Battleskull. But this is what I needed to happen, and it was just kind of a matter of deciding how to get them to do that, and it involved not playing the land and setting it up this way. So now we just need to draw Lightning Bolt. That's the only thing we need. Delver would also be fine. They have 3 cards in hand, 1's a Battleskull. Yeah, of course I wanted to make my opponent make a poor choice. It's just deciding, it's figuring out how the best way to do that is. Because it wasn't exactly obvious. Because to me, like, exiling the Hex Drinker was so crucial to the situation here. Because they could have just blocked with Stoneforge, put in Battleskull, exile the Hex Drinker, bash in for 6, and now they're at 8. No, they are 12 with the Battleskull and the Skyclave versus the Tarmogoyf. So it is definitely tricky to figure out how to make your opponents do that, like make the plays you want them to make. But so Flickerless is still a problem because it flies. Speaking of, okay, I think we're good now because they didn't put in the Battle Skull. We just attack for 6, attack for 6. They could have another Flickerless. That doesn't actually change anything because they're not going to be able to gain the life. Nice. Okay. That was a game that was looking pretty dire, but Hextry could really pull it off, and we were able to, you know, get our opponent to make a crucial misstep. So there's a lot of, like, there's like a lot of, yeah, they didn't Vile Wisp. I don't know what they were thinking. Yeah, they've made some mistakes. I thought they had another 3-drop, but Flickerless seemed so important there, because they just do it end of turn. I attack for 6. Well, I guess I have lethal anyway, because I attack for 6 down to 2, because they didn't put in the Battle Skull. They made a couple key missteps, which is fine. I mean, everybody makes mistakes. Okay, so how do I sideboard here? So I'm just going to set some cards to the side that I think are not that good in the matchup. And surprise, surprise, it's a lot of them. None of my other cards are good. So now we have to figure out with this, what does my plan want to be? And what has a little bit more function? I think with Skyclave Apparition becoming the core, one of like the elements of removal, I think Stifle's gotten better. So I'm happy leaving in at least 2. On the draw, I like having more Force Wills because answering Vile is important. And I don't think I like Force Negation. I don't think I like Daze, but generally I do keep in 1 to keep my opponent honest a decent amount of time. Tarmogoyf is awkward if they have Rest in Peace, which I don't love. And Sylvan's awkward in the face of Spirited Labyrinth. So I don't know about that. Hey, thanks for the follow, Johan. Or Johan VL. I definitely don't think I want that many Stifles. I could leave in all my forces. I have some extra blue cards going around here. I think they probably have Rest in Peace in their deck, and they're probably going to bring it in. But I think it's still fine to have Tarmogoyf, but I don't know about this. There's a lot of Force Wills. I'm going to do this. I'm just going to leave in 2 days with 3 Force Wills. Because Force Will is not... Force Will and Days aren't very good in this matchup anyway. So... okay. It is difficult to mulligan this hand. Let me say that. Because I just need to find some lands. The problem is I'm a little bit soft to Aether Vial, but Borrower gives me some element there. I'm going to keep this. It's not the perfect hand, but yeah, starting on the Vial, sure. Oh, Mother of Wounds. That's fine. That's a little annoying, but I can set up a situation where I go Borrower, Bounce, they protect, and then Rough and get rid of some cards. I'm absolutely pondering here. I need lands. So I'll shuffle anything that's not lands. These are very good. So let's keep them. I want all of them, so I'm probably going to brainstorm. So let's go like this. Cool. Hey, thanks for the follow. Snow Crash. Snow came crashing down a few, a month ago when they banned Arkham's Astrolabe, so. Vial. Okay. Well, we can still borrow or bounce that, which is just going to take a little bit longer to set that up. Asmodeus, thanks for the follow. So I think I got a little punish here because I could have just kept the lightning bolt and then shuffle it away. Another Vial. Okay, so now I think I'm not interacting with Vial at all. Maybe I just don't want Lightning Bolt. Huh. No, that's actually kind of interesting. Search up a Trop? No, I want to fetch... I want to search up a Volk still, I think. Because I want to brainstorm into a Trop that casts Hex Shrinker. Tricky. Bolt's probably fine, honestly. Although it really doesn't do anything here. Yeah, I'm going to get rid of it. I'm going to get a Volk. And I am incentivized to cast my Brainstorms now, before they have a Vial on 2, because I don't want to get Spirited. Spirited away, so to speak. So, not like literally now, but like on my main phase. That being said, now I think I'm just going to cast Armor Wave. Because now I get a Beater down. It makes my Ruff a little bit better. I probably will Daze a Plow if they cast it right here. Because I'm not dazing too much more this game. I need to get as much value out of this Ruff as I can. It's going to be a little tricky, but... Because this Vial is going to give them a substantial mana advantage. And it's going to enable their engine pretty smoothly. Okay, that's fine. They have 2 cards in hand. This is not too big of a deal. Thalia. Spirit. That's fine. I'm going to go Hex Shrinker level twice. This member's good. Yeah, because if I roll land extra, then I can go level Dismember Ruff. I want to get one more card out of this Ruff. They have 1 card in hand. It could be anything. It's nigh impossible to play around things. Like, I played around things as much as I could by casting my Brainstorm before the Spirit came down, so... Yep. Skyclave Apparition? Okay. I'm okay with this. I might be able to get 1 more card, honestly. Thanks for the follow, DeathMark89. Can I get 1 more card out of this? Do I need to? Because I'm going to pay some life. My life's going to get a little low. And what I'm thinking is to just like pass, end the turn Brazen Ball one of the Vials, dismember a creature, like Mother Roads, and then untap and get this Ruff going. I think that's fine. I think I can try to attract a little bit more value. Can I? Especially if they have Stoneforge here, that would be pretty decent. Okay. I'm getting a little greedy here. I understand. Because I'm going to take 5, then 4. I'm going to take 9. I'm going to go to 7. So. Oh, actually, hold on. I don't need to bounce. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to Brazen Ball or just cast it. Then I have a 3-1 clock again. Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds way better. So let's go 1, 2, 3. They just let it go. Brazen Ball. So if they have Flicker Wisp, that could be a pain. So I'm just gonna cast Rough here just to let me know what I need to play around. What are you talking about? I tap red. Whoop. Let's see what they have. If I bounced, I would be playing around Flicker Wisp a little bit better. For sure. That's fine. I don't think they have Flicker Wisp in that case. We have a Chump Blocker, which is kind of nice. And we'll attack. They don't have Flicker Wisp, I know that for a fact. Because they would have found Blink their Skyclave. Kept this Flicker Wisp alive. Killed the token I got off the thing, and then re-Skyclaved the Brazen Power. They could have Stoneforge. Okay, yeah, there wasn't much I could do about that. That's fine. See what they have. Sword of Fire and Ice. Okay. That makes sense. That's going to cause some problems for me. Let's see what we can find. Novad would be the perfect draw. At this stage. I'd accept Tarmogoyf. I think I have to wait, though. Just putting it in now. It might be wrong to wait. Oh, are they just going to equip now? That makes sense. There's nothing I can do about that. So let's just draw. We have to find some good stuff. Footbolt, a little late to the party, but that's okay. Now, yeah, I'm going to cast this because I have some red cards I can find. Is this going to work? Not really. I am... yeah, there's some merit to doing it in response, but I wasn't afraid of Spirit at this stage of the game. Like, it's just a little bit... Well, the game's been going on for a little bit long. In their EOT. Sure, that's a fair point, Oddball. Yeah. So we gained 3. Okay, so, I'm just quickly thinking. I think we're dead. Because we cast over, we go up to 10, they attack, they shoot us. But I guess they could give us a turn. But either way, 3. I guess they give us a turn, but how are we beating this anyway? Okay, well, I guess I'm not technically dead, so I should just kind of keep it all alive here. That. Blue, green 1. I'll put it into play, why not? Hit their Wasteland. And we'll attack them for 4. They'll probably kill my Brazen Baller. Which gives me a turn. This is, of course, going to be a tough game anyway. Like, of course, there were certain areas where I could have done some things a little bit differently. But the double Aether Isle is going to cause a problem as the game going on. So, I certainly needed to find... I guess I could have kept the Lightning Bolt But I found the green source there, which was pretty reasonable. On the play, I'm gonna leave in no forcibles. It's they went face. Okay, I think they figured it out. But I guess I'll allow them. I'll like force them to do it. Get some more information if they play Rest in Peace. Feast of Batman. That is more information. Okay, I'm gonna concede. I can't. I am dead. So, right 3. Wait, hold on. Can I possibly get Uro in play? There's no free spell for me to daze, so no. Okay. Cool. Okay, we see a Sword of Feast of Famine. Good info. Yeah, don't really like Forcible is not very good in this matchup. I'm gonna bring in all my dazes. Like Daze is only alright in this matchup too, but I'm okay interacting in that way. And I do think I like Stifle. I think they have enough ETB triggers that it's worth it, and they have like Wasteland and stuff. So, and plus it works well with Zero. So, let's give this a go. Uro would not have been better as a true name there. Oh, right. I would love to play first. Sure, okay. This hand's not perfect, but it's not going to lose to Sanctum Prelate. It's not going to lose to Vile. Two things that are pretty important. It has some disruption, it has pressure. I need to draw a couple other good cards, but this is a very reasonable hand. I'm going to lead. While I don't mind getting Wastelanded, I think getting to my second land would be pretty nice. So I'm going to lead on a fetch here. A real question is if they go Tome 1 Vile. Yeah, I'm going to just grudge that, I think, before I just get my Goyf down. I could have tried to apply the pressure first, but I don't want them to... Like, if they kept a Vile hand without another land. I think they probably have another land. They're probably just baiting me, but... Let's just get that out of there now. I don't want to give them free reign to cast some other runes. So let's see what they have. Okay, so they don't have another colored source unless they're, again, trying to set me off the trail, which is understandable. That's a good draw. I would love to draw a cantrip. That's kind of high on my list. I would accept an Uro at this stage. That's fine. Yeah, I have Ancient Grudge for whatever they're getting off this. Black Power 89, thanks for the follow. Certainly not going to kill Sharp. Certainly not going to kill their creature. Because it gets cleaned up pretty cleanly with the Stoneforge. With the Rough Tumble. Yeah, I'll just deck for 3. This is the first time I've played Uro and Delver ever, Lynn Chalice. It has been very good in the Delver mirrors. It's been devastatingly good in those matchups. And it would be good here. Like, there have been a lot of situations where it would be good. So, I've been impressed. I don't know if it's a necessity, but it's certainly a good one. Flooding a little bit here, but I still have some good cards as this game goes on, so. We'll just kill that now. I mean, I would love to draw an Uro here. But I would skip any cantrip at this stage. Wasteland, sure. Cheetah, sure. I can't, like, afford to just never draw another spell or, like, a good card in this game, so I definitely have to do that pretty soon. I'm going to be down to 1 Volcanic Island in my deck after this Wasteland. What am I supposed to do? Am I supposed to play the land? No, I don't really need to play the land. This is still fine-ish. They haven't done anything too scary. I've interacted reasonably well with what they're doing. That's a good sign. Mother Runes would be nice here for me. Aether Vial. Okay, that's a little annoying. Uro is not very good in the face of the Caracas stuff, so. Alright, that's gonna make my Uro better, so I think that's worthwhile to just hit their Caracas now. I wouldn't even mind a Sylvan Library here. They haven't applied too much pressure, and we've done a pretty decent job trading with cards that matter. Sure, that's fine. I will happily daze any 2-drops they play here, so. But maybe they just do an artifact. Like, more artifacts here would be problematic. Okay, this is fine. Okay, let's see what we can get here. That was not, like, super relevant, but it is a card, so. It gives us a scry. Do they Mother Runes? No, I guess not. I hope they have, like, Dahlia, Spirit of the Labyrinth. Although Spirit of the Labyrinth, they could definitely set up a situation where it's pretty awkward for me. Yep. It's not another Stoneforge in hand. They have Sword Splashers. Okay, they're giving us a scry. Okay. They're gonna waste any other green source? I would like that. Okay, that's good. That's good. Got through that part. Because I was a little concerned about our extra red source. Bolt. Okay, I'll draw a bolt. It's not perfect, but it's a reasonable draw here, I think. Okay, we'll play the other land here. Just because cards like Uro want us to have as many lands as possible in play. Jack Battle, thanks for the follow. Appreciate it. Okay, if it is a Stoneforge, that's a little annoying. No, Dahlia. This is good. This is good. This means our Rough Tumble is gonna have some worth. Ooh, what's this? Spirit. Oh, cool. Okay, our Rough Tumble is gonna have a decent amount of worth. I guess another port would be problematic. We'll take 3. Mother Runes? Stoneforge. Yeah, we're looking good. Because we're gonna get well, it's not a it's still a 3 for 1 because they're gonna draw the card, but now we can daze the equipment they get. Yeah. Okay, cool. We're looking good. Let's see. Goyf's not a bad draw, so let's just cast Rough. One of the things you get from playing a Delver deck, it's the same thing you get from playing a Death and Taxes deck, which is you get people to play spells at awkward times because they don't know what they need to play around. And our opponents have this opponent has fortunately played into all the cards we needed them to play around. But we're looking good. Okay, they're not playing the sword. Do I need to? I'm not going to double daze this because I have lethal pretty soon, and Bolt's still going to check whatever creature this is. Maybe that's kind of wrong. Yeah, might get punished for the choice. No doubt. But we are going to have this Goyf in play, which is pretty nice. If they draw another Skyclave, we'll definitely get punished. Yeah, I think I should have double dazed the sword. That's a mistake. It's working out here, but it's definitely a mistake. I'm not going to bolt the Skyclave in response because they have to jump block. Which gives us the 1/1, and then we keep the bolt. Because they know we have a bolt. Yeah, we could have been punished by them drawing another Skyclave or kind of any creature there. Well, any free draw, I suppose. Although I could just bolt this. No, because then I preserve my bolt. Stifle's good. Okay, yep, we'll just attack. Okay, yeah, maybe I was supposed to bolt because then I get them to 2. And then if they draw Swords to Archers here, like, we don't just have a really anemic clock. We have a decent amount of good draws in our deck. We haven't drawn a single cantrip, which is really interesting. Double port. The first one was just like habit. Action goes not bad. Okay, let's see what they have. I'm gonna stifle. Nice. Okay. Cool. Cool. Yeah. They definitely games 1 and 3. They definitely either like missequenced or played their cards into our cards a little bit too much. But from their, as I said, from their perspective, it is difficult to know what to play around. You know, they want to get the Dahlias and the Spirits down, so we have less out. We can't ponder into them. But we just happen to have the rough the whole game. But from our opponent's perspective, it would have been pretty reasonable to assume, okay, they've had 3 to 4 cards in the hand the whole game, and we've only just barely begun to be under pressure from this Delver, and so what do they have in hand? So I think if, like, I would have come to the conclusion in their seat that they should play around Rough Tumble, because I could have some removed Dazes, of course, which I did, but it's also very believable I just have, like, a kind of awkward removal spell in hand. So definitely some interesting stuff. But yeah, we're 4-0 with this Uro Delver deck. Uro's been good. There have been times, so in that last game it would have been nice to draw before they had, like, after we killed the Caracas. Before we had the Caracas, that's a little awkward, but it would have just given us something to do with our mana. Uro's certainly been good. I don't know what exactly to feel about the card yet, but I've been very impressed with it against Delver, which, of course, that's going to be the case. So let's give it another go. Let's try to, we're 4-0 in this league. Let's see if we can finish with a 5-0, and if not, a 4-1 is great, and we've definitely had some really good games so far. So yeah, Hexdrinker is really cool, and that one has actually been really good. Like, Uro's been a little bit hit or miss. Hexdrinker, the floor is kind of low. Like, the floor in Uro is 3 mana Growth Spiral, because this deck can't always cast the back end consistently. But the floor in Hexdrinker is just like 1 mana 2/1. It's like, alright, sure, you got me. That is a card that is going to attack for 2. But in the first game against Death Index is where they didn't remove it, and it's just like, well, now it's gonna end the game, because how do you beat a Progenitus? Really cool card. So let's see what we get here. On the play with, okay, this is a fine hand. I'm going to fetch up a Trop. The cost of this hand is we don't find a second land, number 1. Number 2, we need to find removal, and we don't find removal. But we do have interaction regardless, so we should be okay. But first thing first, we need a land. If we find a Wasteland and no other lands, that's going to be a difficult decision, because then I'll have to decide if I'm playing around Wasteland. But Sylvan plus Daze is nice. All right. Ponder. Looking for. Sure, fine. I'm just thinking how I want to do this. I'll draw the Brainstorm, because I think I'm more likely to force pitch the Brainstorm if I have to force something, because I think the Ponder's a little better here. Stifle, one of the things I really like about Stifle is that it works really well with Uro. If you like have a couple extra lands in the Stifle in hand, it's nice that it gives you that element. I'm going to play Sylvan Library. Now, we might be punished by not having removal. Sylvan Library is a little bit slow in this context, but they might feel taxed to days or forced to interact with us in some way, which would be really good for us. But we do need to find a removal spell. No question. But Sylvan's going to help us stick, so. No Transforms 2 is really good for us. Second Delver might be a problem. But we might also just be able to turn the corner better. Like, be the aggro deck. Because we're going to cast Tarmogoyf. For your day, that's fine. Let's see. More Goyfs. Okay, so let's go top. I don't want to pay full life yet. And we'll just play a Tarmogoyf. We can certainly become a little bit more aggressive by taking this route. I'm probably going to keep the Delver and Ponder next turn. That seems like a very reasonable way to go. I'm definitely going to force this, because that demands another removal spell, either way. So they have a Brainstorm in hand. Yep. So let's go top. I'm going to Ponder, and I'm going to cast Delver. I don't really like these cards. They're fine-ish, but... Yeah, so this is why I generally don't like Sylvan against Delver decks. Like, this, it's fine. It's okay here, but... It's not like helping. You know, a threat there would have been really nice, because then we could just straight up be aggro, like if it was another Tarmogoyf. Of course, I could have kept the Tarmogoyf on top instead of the Sylvan and had myself the option. Maybe that was better, but... True Name is a little bit of a problem here. Spite Dragon. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's still a problem. Kill the Delver. Okay. Yeah, I mean, we're losing. Certainly. Yeah, so how do we win this? They still have this Brainstorm in hand, too. I think we're dead. So I'm going to... Obviously, we can't cast Bolt, so there's no reason to keep that. Let's do this. Play Delver. We attack for 4. Because we can't... No, I guess the way to win that... I guess they probably have a Force Will, too. Which is what it feels like. I should have kept the Bolt in hand. Because then that gives me the option of finding the red source. And that would give me lethal next turn. If they don't kill me. Which I assume they will just kill me. And 0815. Thank you for the follow. Yeah. So, here is of course awkward, but it would have been something like a True Name or something like that. So that's not... That wouldn't have done anything anyway. Sylvan was not great here, but... Part of the problem we had was that we'd never found a red source. And part of the problem was we pondered into a green source after fetching a green source. So there were a couple of areas here where we could have just, like, done different things. Yeah, sure. That is fine. I get a lot of questions about Sylvan Library versus Delver, and this is why I almost never bring it in, because, yeah, in the games where everyone's traded cards, sure, having that card advantage is nice, but there's a lot of games where you just need to impact the board really meaningfully. So let's go 3 braids, 3 power blasts, maybe a braid, maybe closes, maybe Brazen Bower, maybe Veil. I don't think I'm going to bring in Veil. I am going to bring out probably both my Sylvans. Definitely these. I like Stifle. I like the creatures. I like Uro. So if we do this, that's somewhat reasonable. We need one more card, though. Yeah, Hogak is good against Delver. Yeah, we could just do this. This seems pretty reasonable. I like this. We just have no Sylvans. I think I like that more. Get a lot of questions about Temur Shadow, actually. I think Temur is good. I think you really need to find a metagame that doesn't have a lot of Sword to shares. I think right now is okay. But it seems pretty... It's very powerful. I've played it recently. It's pretty good. So, yeah, I would certainly recommend it. I'm going to keep this. This hand is good. I'm going to play Trop Delver, so if they just decide to wasteland me, I get to keep my red source. So... it's awkward because, of course, they're a little bit more aggressive, but it does kill their creatures, so yeah, you still want your remove spells. Thanks for the follow, Maverick87IT. Tarmogoyf. Nope. Let's just bolt this. Deciding which one to use there is a little awkward. Forkbolt might get a little bit more value as this game goes on. Sure, that's fine. Kind of hope I just draw a land so I can play Tarmogoyf with, like, Power Blast up. Any land would do. I'm a little concerned about Blood Moon. Okay, I'm just going to cast Tarmogoyf. If they dave me, that's fine. I can't really not cast my spells here. See if they have Submerge. That is a possibility. If they play Blood Moon, which is a possibility. Yeah, that's what it looks like. We do have 3 red spells we can cast, and we also they can't Submerge us anymore. So this is part of the reason I wanted to get Tarmogoyf down. 4/5 versus the world. Let's do it. I'm gonna Pyroblast this. I think that's fine. I could have just untapped and fork bolted, but I wouldn't have double Pyroblast up anyway. I'm a little concerned with Brazen Borrow plus Forcible. Brazen Borrow plus Daze won't do it. Okay, this is fine. At least one Pyroblast is going towards Brazen Borrow, so... I think they have double bolt on my Tarmogoyf. That at least... Sorry, I'm just thinking. Yeah, sure. Chose to shuffle. I'm going to Pyroblast the Spike Dragon this turn. Really? Maybe they have double bolt. No, they would have done that already. Okay, well, that's how you beat Bloodmoon. You get Tarmogoyf down. Okay, cool. So they do have Blood Moon, which, of course, they're playing blue-red. That makes sense. I'm going to bring in the extra Force of Will on the draw. It's a little... I think the problem is Brazen Borrow does kind of answer it, but and like closest, there's some clunky cards one way or another. But I think the problem is I could just be too inefficient against them, and that's going to lose me. And even though Brazen Borrow is like an answer-ish, it's just like a really slow, clunky one. So I'm going to bring that out. I could bring out another one, bring in another Force of Will, and just like try to fight over cards like Blood Moon or whatever on the stack. Maybe Stifle's worse? Yeah, I can actually bring out a Stifle, bring in another Force. So then how many blue cards do we have? Ooh, oh, no. You get back in there. 17, 24. That's decent. Yeah, sure. Let's give it a shot. I still like this member. I understand it is definitely costly. But like I think killing their creatures is important enough. And there's times where it's gonna be dead, but I am okay taking that risk. Personally, but I understand the risk. Maverick 87. No, I did not play Core Guns Commander. I'll briefly bring up the list that I played. We ended up going 4-1. This is it. It was just there's no Thoughtseize in the main. And yeah. So they preordain top bottom. Just remember, like, this is the time I want to draw it. So let's go... Let's just ponder. I want to find, like, Daze. I don't think I want these cards. No, I do not want these cards. Yep, that's fine. Sure, so we need to find another land. There it is, okay. So... let's go Trop Delver. We'll try to get on board, force him to interact with us a little bit. This member is gonna hurt a little bit, no doubt, but I'm okay with a little bit of pain here. I didn't really want to just hold up a Lightning Bolt or a removal spell. This is fine. This is fine. So now I'm going to trade some removal spell for their creature. Don't know which one yet. Probably Lightning Bolt. And hope they daze me. Reveal Braid, that's fine. So let's go stop upkeep. I don't want to get wastelanded. That's the thing I can't really beat right now. They've already used 2, but it's very believable they would have another. Preordain. Okay, so I'm just gonna lightning bolt this now. See what they have. Another Delver. So now I'm not concerned about Wasteland, I am concerned about Blood Moon. Because we're getting to that state of the game. They went top. I'm going to cast a Brainstorm here. I think I need to find another land in order to stay in this game, so. Okay. Not bad. I don't like a Braid. I have enough removal. I don't think I need to Dismember, but... You know what? Maybe it's just right because I can play around Blood Moon a little bit. Maybe it's just right to keep, like, put back a Tarmogoyf and the Abrade. Or Tarmogoyf and Dismember. I'll keep 1 Goyf, I have plenty of threats, and then if they resolve Blood Moon, I'll have a couple of threats in play, removal spells for their creatures. Yeah, that actually sounds pretty good. Abrade is so clunky. I think Dismember is still better here. Yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking, Mali Mujo. So let's do that. I like the setup. I'm gonna... Even if a Blood Moon comes down, I have multiple 1-mana spells I can cast. To help clear the way and make my Delvers the primary plan. See what they find. Ponder, sure. Brainstorm is their start. Okay. I'm probably just casting Tarmogoyf next turn, no matter what, if they don't deploy another threat. I'm anticipating that their turn is going to be kill a creature, you know, maybe cantrip again. If it's double threat, well, I'll have to really think about it. And we're going to keep in mind this how awkward this Dismember was versus the Abrade as well. Both of them were pretty awkward. Yeah, that's fine. And then another Delver. Okay. So, let's see what happens here. I'm going to cast this Goyf. This Dismember is looking pretty bad here. No doubt. But I might just be holding back my Delver if it transforms. If I want to find a land. Stifle. I accept that. I'm going to cast Goyf. I know they can daze me, but I just don't have more lands, and I think getting this down is important enough. Okay, so now I'm just going to pass with my Delver with the plan of blocking it, because I'm not... Well, it does put the pressure on them. But my Dismember gets so much better if I just hang back. So, let's just hang back. I don't think I need to play the aggressive role quite yet. The reveal Ponder, that makes sense. They had that in hand already. Pyroblast, sure. So then I missed 3 damage, it would have had that Pyroblast. They have Ponder in hand, I know that. So missing the 3 damage is going to matter, no doubt. Oh, they're doing that? Okay. So let's hope to draw a red source, because then we get to go remove, and rely on Tomoglyph. So, actually, if I think I'm just going to remove this, cast Dismember, we go to 4, which isn't dead, to Lightning Bolt. We'll clock in. And now we have lethal next turn with the Bolt. And I know they have a Ponder in hand, so they'd have to draw Sprite Dragon Ponder into a Bolt. Tight game. Dismember was better than a Braid there, no doubt. The question is, was Dismember better than anything else in my sideboard? I could have... It's the only real removal spell I can cast off Tropical Island. Okay, so Sprite Dragon, if they have a red source or a Bolt in hand, then they don't need to find too much here, but let's see. This is tight. They shuffled. I would love to draw a Daze just to get a little bit of safety. Okay, I'm gonna just attack. And then we're gonna bolt them. If they have Force of Will, I lose. But I'm not playing in 2 days. Unless my opponent has been following me this whole time. Looks like we got it. We got the 5-0 with this Delver deck. Nice. Cool. 5-0 with some Temur Delver action with Uro. Yeah, so we can talk about the list for a little bit here. Hey, thanks for the follow, Fish Juggly. Hope you're doing well. So there were games where Uro was the only card that would have possibly won me, and it was pretty dominating in those situations. There were also games like the last one where Uro was never relevant at any point. We never got to 3 lands. Games 1 and 3, we never got to 3 lands. And in the second game, we got Blood Moon, so we never had the chance to cast Uro. That being said, that's no different, and this is the comparison I've been making throughout this stream. It's no different than True Name Nemesis, really, and True Name's like the space that this is occupying, you know? Like, of course, Uro changes the way you have to construct your deck, so it's not like 1-to-1. It's like once you cut Uro, you're probably also cutting Hexdrinker Sylvan Library, because now you can afford Hooting Mandrills, and everything changes around a little bit. But, if Uro was any 3-mana card, Poison Ball or whatever, it would have been really awkward in those situations. Of course you'd say that, Jax. But it was very potent. It was good in a lot of games, and again, as I said, there were games where there's no other card that would have won in such a dominating manner, or even won at all. So I was pretty impressed. I think it's a decent direction to go. I think I'll keep working on it. Like, of course, these games were all really close, right? This isn't just like, oh, I got 5-0'd with the Uro Delver deck. This deck is broken. It's like, the Death and Taxes game came down to a couple key mistakes from them, and some sequencing things, and me getting a little fortunate. The Show and Tell match came down to me getting extremely lucky in game 1. Of course, I played to my luck, but nevertheless, I still got lucky. So does and that last game was just down to a single, like, you know, they probably had a lightning bolt in hand, and they accidentally searched up the second island, which meant that I got the load for it done. So the Sylvan libraries have felt a little, feel a little awkward. I play against 3 Delver decks, Death and Axes, and Sneak and Gel. Like, those aren't really the situations where you want them. But it's good. I think this is a good direction to go. I'm going to keep working on it. I'm also going to try Sultai at some point here. I don't know what I'm playing for the showcase yet. Maybe if Sultai impresses me, I'll pick that up. But yeah, that was pretty good. That's probably all I have in me today. Delver can be exhausting at times, so definitely a lot of cool stuff going on there. I am going to try to stream next week if I can. I might actually, you know what? I might actually stream on Saturday for a little bit too, because I have a little bit of time. I have some work to do, but I have some time in the early day where I'm just going to kind of be hanging out. So I might be able to get a stream in on Saturday. So we'll try for that. I don't know what I'm going to play yet. All of, if you want to watch any of this, the VOD's going to be on my YouTube. You can find the link below. And yeah, I have nothing else to say. I'm happy you all checked it out, and I hope you all had a great time. It was great to see some old faces here that I haven't seen in a while. I'm going to send a raid somewhere. Let's see. Legacy Council is probably live. Yeah. We'll ship you over to the Legacy Council. We'll do that. Thanks for the follow, Jackie Brown, MTG. Hope you all enjoyed it, and I'll be in touch. Follow my Twitter if you want to see what's going on. So.